Hello. Dude, I was like freaking out right before, well, as I pressed play, I was like adjusting my mic and this came unplugged. And then like all my bars were like not working. I'm like, oh, great. Now I broke my mic and now it's not going to work. Anyway, I got it to work. You can hear me, right? My bars are going. I think we're good. I see all the squirrels in the chat. Thank you, DC, for rating. I know that was you. I appreciate it. To everyone who came here from DC's live, thank you. So if you were here last night when I went live, you know that I was going to do a continuation of last night's video because we got halfway through it. I was raging. It was a lot. Kay Vandenbroek, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Let me get through this real quick and then I'll play the Pop-Tart song. But this, what we're going to talk about today, fell into my lap this morning. Someone sent it to me on Instagram. They were trying to get the lawsuit documents for me, and it was like a wild goose chase. We knew they existed. I just like didn't know how to find them, and I ended up finding them myself. So I'm really happy to have this. If you don't know what's going on, STUART MACMILLAN used to be for like, it says in the lawsuit, for like almost a decade, I think. He was the president of Monat for like a long time, who only recently left last year. And now, as of yesterday, this lawsuit was filed by STUART MACMILLAN against Monat, not only Monat, Ray Urdaneta and Luis Urdaneta. Did I say that right? I think so. The Urdaneta family is like, they own Monat, I guess, from what I understand. But anyway, Vandenbroek. Okay. the extra E threw me off. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys can all hear me. All right. Hey, there were gifted memberships, so...
It's a Pop-Tart party right now. Look at all the Pop-Tarts in here. Everybody has a Pop-Tart by their icon. Hey, more Pop-Tarts in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you. I like how it was just me, just... Hannah, he shall henceforth be known as SUED, because he's suing. That's hilarious. I haven't read this yet. I was saving it to read together. It's 50 pages, so I mean, these lawsuits can get a little repetitive, so I'm sure we'll scroll past some stuff. I don't know. I know it has to do with fraud. I think Stuart is basically saying that they owe him a bunch of money, from what I understand, although I'm not positive. I just know that the exhibits that they put in this complaint are like his letter of resignation and like some stuff about like his promised salaries and stuff. It's gonna get wild here, and I love this. This makes my heart happy. You know, usually you don't like to hear about like, oh no, lawsuits suck, like someone's going through a hard time, darn. But when it comes to Monat, like, it's really, it's unfortunate timing for them, but the best timing for us, because they're already going through a hard time. My last edited video I uploaded was about Angela Sumner and her upline, her new Olive Tree People upline, how they left Monat and now they're in Olive Tree People. So there was a mass exodus from Monat very recently, thanks to Angela Sumner and I guess others. Like, I get messages from you guys like every day, like, oh, some other girl I was following just left Monat for Olive Tree People. It's like, yep, they're all going over there. I got the fog going. Yay! Anyway. Necessary. Yeah, so, I mean, it's really terrible time for them. STUART MACMILLAN. That's funny. I love that. Without further ado, guys, I got the lawsuit right here. We're going to read through it together, see what's up. And I'll also, disclaimer, I'm not a law professional in any way. I was Try not to unplug my mic. Okay. I don't necessarily know what I'm talking about. Oh, shit. Whoopsie. So, I don't know if there's any law professionals in the chat. Maybe they can clarify some things if we need it. But for the most part, there's a lot here. So let's get started. Also, don't forget to leave a like on the stream. Okay. So this is Plaintiff Stuart McMillan against Monat, Ray Urdaneta, and Luis Urdaneta. Fabulous. Complaint. Plaintiff Stuart A. McMillan, by and through his background counsel, files this complaint against defendants Monat Global Corp. Just Monat, Ray, Luis, and alleges the following. Okay. Introduction. Over a period of 9 years, McMillan built Monat from nothing to a skincare and hair product company, generating hundreds of millions of dollars in revenues with hundreds of employees, millions of customers, and market partners numbering in the hundreds of thousands worldwide. Okay. Yeah, I don't know Stuart's history with Monat. I know he's been around since pretty much the beginning, but he's obviously not part of the Urdaneta family. I think he was hired to be the president. So I don't know if they had any like former relationship before this, but oh, bye Quinlan, good luck with your sister's hockey game, I think is what was going on. Okay. McMillan did this in reliance on Luis and Ray promised to him that the three of them would work to maximize Monat's profits. Oh, I have to sneeze. We're off to a great start. Would work to maximize Monat's profits, and McMillan would be paid a 3% profit share while he worked for Monat and for a certain amount of time thereafter. Okay, so they promised him 3% of the company's profits? That's a lot. That has to, well, because when they were at their peak, they allegedly said they had brought in $800 million in, what was it, 2019, 2020 or something like that? Maybe it was 2021. 3% of that? That's a nice paycheck. Like, come on. All right. McMillan accepted this underpayment agreement through his wait, did I skip a part? No. Sorry. The underpayment arrangement throughout his near 9 years working for Monat to share in such profits during and after his employment. After? Okay, so what you're saying is even after he left, he's still supposed to be getting a percentage? What? And a certain amount of time thereafter. Okay, maybe that must be what he's suing about. Okay. Luis and Ray promise to McMillan was partially memorialized in an offer letter dated, what, August 26, 2024? That hasn't happened yet. What? Ray? Or not Ray. Stuart, your lawyers need to check some shit. The offer letter. A true and correct copy of offer letter is attached as Exhibit A. Luis and Ray's promise to maximize Monat's profit was inherent and in line with their fiduciary duties to Monat. So let's scroll down and find Exhibit A. Here it is. Oh, this is August 26, 2014. Did I read that wrong or did they type that wrong? They wrote 2024, right? Yeah, so it was 2014. All right, dear Stuart, we're pleased to offer you the position of president of Monat Global, reporting directly to the board of directors of Monat Global. Start date, September 8th, 2014. Base salary, $260,000 a year, payable in accordance with the company's standard payroll practices for salaried employees until July 2015, upon which time base salary will be raised to $300,000 if numbers are being met. Performance appraisal and salary review for all management positions are held on the day of hire each year. Your first official performance review will be on 1 year after the date of hire. Bonus plan. You'll be eligible to receive an annual bonus of 50% of your base annual salary per year plan paid annually. The bonus will be based on overall company performance and individual performance. What? An additional 50% of their of his salary? So if he was making $300,000, if he gets all his numbers right, they're like, here's 450. What? That's a sick deal, dude. Signing bonus. You'll be guaranteed a signing bonus of $77,000, of which no, I can't read numbers very well. 38,500 will be payable April 1st, 2015, and the remainder will be paid September 8th, 2015, as long as you stay active on the moment of these payments. Payments for signing bonus will be payable to Impact This Day Incorporated. Interesting. Is that the parent company of Monat? I don't know. All right. Profit sharing. You'll be eligible to participate in the company's profit sharing plan immediately, where you will receive 3% of company profits that will be distributed on an annual basis. Parachute. After the second year of employment with the company, you will receive an extra year of participation in the profit sharing plan for the future, and for every full year of employment thereafter, you'll receive an additional year of profit sharing. For example, if you work with the company 5 years and decide to leave or retire, you would enjoy being on profit sharing for the following 4 years. Oh. So since he was there for 9 years, does that mean he's supposed to get 8 years of profit sharing for the next 8 years? I mean, Monat's not going to last another 8 years. Let's be honest. Come on. That's wild. Okay. Benefits. You will be eligible to participate in our company's health benefits. Okay. Vacation. You get 20 days of annual paid vacation / personal days. That's not that great for the president of a company. The hell was that? I don't know what's going on. You will begin accruing vacation at a rate of 4 weeks per year on a weekly basis as of January 2015. Your vacation in 2014 will be prorated based on your date of hire. Dude, when I worked for PetSmart, well, I think I started off with 4 weeks. Wait, no, never mind. I was going to say 4 weeks is not good, because I had 4 weeks of vacation, but that was after I worked for them for 10 years. Right? 8 years. I don't remember. Still, though, if you're the president of the company, I feel like you would get more than that. But anyway, expenses. A business laptop computer will be assigned to you to use at all times for business purposes, in addition to a company cell phone for business use. Hotel and all other business travel-related expenses will be paid for by the company. The company credit card will be provided to be used only for business purposes. Relocation. Monat will reimburse temporary living expenses during your period of transition, including lodging and transportation. The company will reimburse up to 4 round-trip tickets for travel to Miami from Portland, Maine during the first 6 weeks of employment. Based on a projected start date of September 8th, 2014, 6 weeks later would be October. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Relocation costs up to $20,000 will be paid to relocate household goods. So, like, they're even going to pay for, like, movers and stuff? That's crazy. Severance pay. In the event that employee's employment is terminated within 1 year of the date of hire for a reason other than cause as defined below, then the company shall pay to the employee a lump sum payment equal to 6 months base salary pay within 30 days after the termination date. If terminated on the year after the first year anniversary of the employee's hire date for a reason other than cause as defined below, the company will ensure that the profit-sharing parachute referred to above will represent a minimum of 1 year's salary in the first year after termination. I mean, like, they really had him set up, like, like, even if he left, they're like, we'll still pay you after you leave? That's wild. Okay. Cause shall mean a good faith finding by the company of gross negligence or willful misconduct by employee in connection with her, ooh, girl, employee, okay, wait, that's kind of shitty to put a pronoun there, like, assuming that, like, I'm the boss, I'm the boy boss, and I'm gonna be hiring women, because I'm the boss and women work for me. I don't know. Failure by employee to perform her duties or responsibilities required pursuant to her employment after written notice and an opportunity to cure? Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Misappropriation by employees or the assets of business opportunities for the company or its affiliates. Embezzlement, financial fraud, the employee knowingly allowing any third party to commit any of the acts described in the preceding clauses, or the employee's indictment for conviction or entry of a plea of no contest with respect to any felony, not accomplishing mutually agreed objective for the company. Okay. Year 2015, US $20 million. They're missing a zero there. Okay, that's weird. 20% net profit minimum. Okay, so is this what they're guaranteeing, that like, oh, the company's gonna bring in $20 million, or are they saying that's what they're gonna give him for the profit sharing? I don't know, dude. That's wild. Anyway, the following year objectives would be mutually agreed, always following reasonable expectations and or industry standards. Identification, Monat is required to obtain, okay, yeah, bring your forms of IDs. If the above represents your understanding of this new position, please sign below to indicate your acceptance of this offer and return an original of this letter to us by this day. Okay, we look forward to hearing back from you, blah, blah, blah. Ray signed it. This is before Stuart signed it. Sick. Okay. All right, so let's go back and see. Exhibit A. So their promise to maximize Monat's profits was inherent and in line with the fiduciary duties. Okay. Unbeknownst to McMillan at the time, Louise and Ray made this promise to McMillan. They were planning on diluting and draining Monat's profits to limit profit sharing with McMillan and to pay him nothing after he stopped working for Monat. Hold on. Okay, wait. At the time they made this promise, they were planning on diluting and draining Monat's profits to limit profit sharing and to pay him nothing. Whoa, okay. After McMillan's successful launch and growth of Monat between 2014 and 2019, ooh, I like how Stuart left last year, 2023. So they're like successful launch and growth up until 2019. So is that how you're saying that like profits started? Like, they stopped growing, the company stopped growing in 2019. Is that what this is suggesting? Because that's fascinating. Also, well, I don't know, because, like, MLMs had a big boom in 2020 because of COVID. Was that not true for Monat? I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, Louise and Ray threatened to terminate McMillan if he did not agree to a non-compete agreement and non-solicit agreement. So, like, they started getting... Sorry, I'm thinking in my head and not thinking out loud, which is not good for when you're running a live stream. Maybe he's saying that in 2019, because of the growth that Monat had, they're like, hey, we're growing really, really big, so you have to sign an NDA. Which, oh, well, by the way, I mean, if you guys didn't know, is it the FTC? Yeah, it would be the FTC, right? Non-compete clauses in the country aren't a thing anymore with, well, I don't know, I haven't, like, looked too far into it, but, like, employers can't, like, for example, when I worked for PetSmart, they told me that, like, I had to sign a non-compete clause that basically said I would not, if I left PetSmart to work for a different dog grooming place, that it had to be in a salon that was at least 20 miles away or something like that. Like, or within a 20-mile radius of any of the stores I ever worked at, which is wild, for like 2 years or something like that. So from what I understand, that kind of stuff is not allowed anymore. Did I miss gifted memberships? Oh my god. I did. I'm so sorry. It didn't pop up for me. Oh my gosh. Alice Wagner gifted 20 memberships. Okay, we can take a break. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything else. Holy shit. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I wasn't paying attention.
It's a pop-tart party right now. Look at all the pop-tarts in here. Everybody has a pop-tart by their icon. Hey, more pop-tarts in the chat.
Why, thank you. Thank you, Alice Wagner. Sorry that that was so late, but, anyway. Sorry, I'm reading your guys' comments, too. They liquidated shit. It's totally not because Monat is literal ass juice in a bottle. Gross. Okay, anyway, okay, so Luis and Ray decided to impose these restrictive covenants after they felt threatened by Monat's employees and independent contractor market partners' loyalty and affection towards McMillan. Okay, so once everyone decided that everyone in Monat loved Stuart, and he's saying that Luis and Ray, the CEO, were threatened by that. That's so weird. That's weird. What? How can you run a company and then hire, like, selectively hire a president of the company and then just be like, we're gonna sabotage him this whole time. We're gonna sabotage the shit out of him. That's what it sounds like. That's how I'm understanding it so far. Anyway, not wanting to give up everything he'd worked towards at Monat, McMillan agreed to enter into a non-compete agreement and non-solicit agreement. On October 1st, 2019, McMillan entered into an amended and restated profit-sharing confidentiality, non-compete, non-poach, and bonus opportunity agreement with Monat, the profit-sharing agreement. A true and correct copy of the profit-sharing agreement is attached here too. I'm going to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's that specific document is not in here. Yeah. The profit sharing agreement is being served on defendants but not publicly filed in order to maintain confidentiality. The profit sharing agreement will be shared with the court as appropriate under rule of judicial administration. So maybe if this won't go to trial, like, I mean, if it does, I'll be shocked, but I don't think it will. But if it does, I guess we'll see it then. That's what I'm understanding. The profit sharing agreement incorporated certain previous understandings, added a non-complete and non-solicit, and added a few extra terms. Defendant's attorney drafted the profit sharing agreement. Luis and Ray promised to maximize Monat's profits was inherent and in line with their fiduciary duties to Monat. Obviously. Yeah, of course. It's their company. Of course they want to maximize profits. In June 2023, after being Monat's president for almost 9 successful years, for numerous reasons, some of which are addressed in the following paragraphs, McMillan resigned from Monat. Starting in March 2024, McMillan expected payment of the higher of 3% of Monat's profits each year through 2031, or a $1 million floor payment per year if Monat was not profitable in any given year. Wait, so even if Monat wasn't profiting, they were still contractually obligated to give Stuart $1 million every year for 8 years? Are these contracts, like, normal? Because, like, that sounds like... It doesn't sound like a very smart contract for a CEO to sign off on, or for anyone for that matter. To be like, hey, even if we're not making money, we'll still give you $1 million for 8 years. We'll give you $8 million, like, even if you leave. That sounds so weird. This is a give me some money and I won't embarrass you letter. They will settle. Neither can afford a big trial. That's true. Well, apparently, Stuart's not even getting the money he's supposed to get. Okay, anyway. McMillan's first post-employment payment of $500,000 was due on or before March 31st. Okay, so he's saying that Monat owes him $500,000 right now, and for the next 7.5 years, they're gonna owe him another $7.5 million. Am I understanding that correctly? Right, what I learned in boating school is blankety blankety blank. That's the best name ever. I need a job like that, lol. You haven't done what you're supposed to do? That's fine, take our money. Exactly, that's what I'm like, what? This is odd. Chelsea says, that employment agreement read to me like they had revenue goals in mind and Stuart had to help them meet those goals, like the 20 million in 2015 and 20% net profit. Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I just wasn't sure. Why does this feel like Stewie had some dirt on them and they had to do this shit? I mean, why else would they have him sign an NDA? I'm gonna start applying to jobs at Stuart McMillan. It is common for CEOs. Wow. It's giving blackmail. I mean, Spill it, Stewie. Let's hear it. Anyway, let's see. Between the date of his resignation from Monat in June 2023 and the initial post-employment payment deadline of March 2024, Luis and Ray demanded that McMillan have no contact with approximately 3,000 people associated with Monat in order to receive the post-employment payments owed pursuant to the profit-sharing agreement. The demand has no basis in law or contract. The demand was a pretext to justify not paying McMillan. So it's like, that wasn't written in the contract that... Oh, well, no. That contract is the one that wasn't submitted to the public. It's just submitted to the defendants when they serve this. So they just, like, made something up. They're just like, oh, well, we can't pay you now because you talked to one person that we said that you're not allowed to have contact with. If that's not written in the contract, then, like, how do they think they can get away with that? Font Leroy says, y'all, this is a normal standard executive contract. Is it really? Man, rich people are crazy. Because this sounds, like, wild. Anyway... according to the extreme positions of Luis and Ray, Monat could only be successful after McMillan's departure if Monat's employees and independent contractor market partners had zero contact with McMillan. And for that to occur, according to Luis and Ray, McMillan essentially had to disappear from his previous business circles. And I don't remember, was it World Financial Group? I think, well, like, Ray came from... Before he was in Monat, I'm pretty sure he was literally, like, the leader of a Ponzi scheme or something. Wait, did I say Ray? I meant Stuart. I don't know. I'm getting names mixed up. But Stuart McMillan, before Monat, was involved in something sketchy. So he's been involved in the network marketing space for a while. So obviously, like, of course, he's going to have a lot of contacts and stuff. Anyway, but why... They thought Monat could only be successful after McMillan's departure if everyone cut Stuart off. Why? He's gotta have some dirt on them. They're like, this guy's gonna spill the tea, and if he contacts any of these people, they're gonna know we're frauds. Okay, notably, Luis and Ray even demanded that McMillan distance himself from members of McMillan's friends and family. That's a cult. That's cult shit. That is... What part of the bite model does that fall under? There's behavior control, information control. What's the T? What's the T, sis? And then, oh my god, I don't even remember. It's been too long. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Someone's already gonna type it into the chat. Bite model. Thought control and emotional control. That would probably be behavior control, right? But by saying that you can't see your friends and family, that would be part of the B. Look at all the thoughts in the chat. Thank you. all of them. Yeah, sure. Holy shit, though. I want to see proof that Luis and Ray were like, Stuart, you can't talk to your family. Whoa. All right, McMillan rejected this baseless and outrageous no-contact demand. Further pressing the matter, Monat has now failed to pay McMillan his first $500,000 post-employment payment as required under the profit-sharing agreement. Defendants are now taking the position that McMillan has lost all profit sharing with Luis and Ray or Monat in violation of the profit sharing agreement. Defendants are denying McMillan between $8 million and $16 million that he has already earned as compensation for services rendered. Despite not paying McMillan, defendants claim McMillan is still bound to comply with the non-compete and non-solicit in the profit sharing agreement. Well, I wonder, but since they really did away with NDAs, I wonder if that's going to affect this in any way. How does it affect NDAs that have already been signed? I don't know. All right. In fact, Defendant's failure to pay McMillan his share of profits is not new or limited to post-employment. Throughout the entire existence of Monat, Luis and Ray orchestrated a complex scheme to enrich themselves and deprive McMillan of the full amount of profit sharing he has earned and was owed. Whoa. A scheme, you say? How do you work for a scheme for 9 years, though? Without being, like, complacent? What's that word? Without being part of it. Without totally having all of the knowledge in the world that it's going on. Like, how do you do that for 9 years? We need more fog. Alright. Cool. Okay, this should be interesting. Parties. Monat is a direct sales multi-level marketing company. On its website, Monat claims that its mission is to help people everywhere enjoy beautiful, healthy, fulfilling lives through our exceptional, naturally based products, a fun and rewarding business opportunity, and culture of family, service, and gratitude. That's a big, long mission statement right there. Okay. Monat further claims that it has more. Okay, more that its vision is to be a global leader in naturally based anti-aging hair care, skincare, and wellness innovations with an unrivaled business model that enhances the self-confidence and financial well-being of 1 million families around the globe each year. On its website, Monat claims to offer people the opportunity to become international entrepreneurs. Monat hosts motivational sales summits and incentive meetings for its independent contractor market partners to increase sales. Monat's current CEO, Ray Urdaneta, recently proclaimed that Monat is poised to become a billion-dollar company. Haven't they been saying that for years, though? I feel like they've been saying that. Like, all the distributors have been saying that for years, too. Like, we're set to be a billion-dollar company. Not happening. Definitely not happening now. For sure. Complicit. Thank you, guys. Welcome to the world in which Savannah cannot read. Okay, or think, or speak. Okay, Monat's principal place of business, that's their address in Florida. Alcora Corporation owns Monat. Oh, okay, yeah, that's familiar. Okay, Alcora's principal place of business, blah, blah, blah. Luis and Ray, CEO of Alcora. Francisco Urdaneta is the chief of staff of Alcora. Okay, Ray is the owner, director, and current CEO of Monat. Ray is a resident of Miami, blah, blah, blah. Also a member of B&R Products, LLC. What is that? I don't know. This is the boring stuff. Luis is an owner of Monat and a director of Monat. He's a resident of Miami-Dade County. McMillan is the former president and director of Monat. Okay. Venue and jurisdiction, none of that is... that's all boring. Okay, factual background. Fraudulent inducement of McMillan. Woo! Okay, before meeting Luis and Ray, McMillan was already a successful executive. Like I told you, he was part of a Ponzi scheme. Hold on, let me look up what it was. Okay. STUART MacMillan Ponzi scheme? Yes, it was Telex free for being $1 billion Ponzi scheme. It was charged and shut down by the FTC in April 2014, which makes sense that he signed on with Monat. When was it? August of 2014? Interesting. Yeah, there's articles about it on Behind MLM and stuff. So yeah, it's interesting that it's like, he was already a successful executive. Yeah, he was like the leader of a fucking Ponzi scheme. So, okay, I mean, successful, like, sure. Okay. Oh, here.
Sure, Jan.
Sure, Jan. All right. McMillan started his career in the telecom industry. The Teleflex thing, where he rose to the level of senior vice president at multiple companies. Later, McMillan was the president of multiple successful direct sales multi-level marketing companies. I don't know what all those were. I just know he's been in the business for a long time. Okay. Oh, this is the Impact Inc. thing that we were reading before. Okay. McMillan moved to Florida in 2012 and joined an executive recruiting and consulting company called Impact This Day Inc. Sorry. I'm like mucusy. Okay. Prior to moving to Florida, Luis and Ray lived in Venezuela, where they operated a beauty products company called Ludine Global, operated in South America. They engaged Impact Inc. to help them launch a beauty direct sales multi-level marketing company. Oh, so that, okay. That makes sense. That's where the tie-in is. Okay. All right. Sorry. My brain is working through all this too. Specifically, Luis and Ray wanted Impact Inc. to engage an executive for them that could run a direct sales multi-level marketing company. So they seeked out, they seeked out someone to fill the president role by going to the executive recruiting company that Stuart was already involved in. Oh my gosh, KJ Doll Fashion, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. Did I forget any more? I don't know. Let's dance.
It's a Pop-Tart party right now. Look at all the Pop-Tarts in here. Everybody has a Pop-Tart by their icon. Hey, more Pop-Tarts in the chat.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it so much. Let's get back to this. On June 6, 2014, Luis and Ray founded Monat to be a beauty products direct sales multi-level marketing company in the United States. Luis and Ray tasked Impact Inc. to recruit a president for Monat. That's where Stuart came from. They purchased B&R Products Inc., the company that has been their supplier for Ludine Global, to formulate, manufacture, and supply the beauty products Monat would sell. Okay, that makes sense, because I feel like there was, like, rumors going around a while ago that Monat was just, like, white labeling their products, but it seems like the product that was white labeling things was owned by Luis and Ray anyway, so according to this lawsuit anyway. Look at all those Pop-Tarts, so many. Okay. After rejecting multiple other candidates, Luis and Ray asked McMillan to be the president of Monat and to join Monat's board of directors. McMillan was skeptical about operating a business for Luis and Ray. So, and then you did it for 9 years, Stuart? Come on. Where's your personal responsibility? Okay. They had never successfully conducted business in the United States, were not well-funded, and could not pay McMillan close to his market value. Yeah, I guess your market value is going to go up if you run a fucking billion-dollar Ponzi scheme, but all right. Luis and Ray induced McMillan to become the president of Monat by promising him profit sharing during the entire duration of his employment and for a period thereafter. Luis and Ray promised McMillan that he would share in Monat's profits like an owner, but without liability for the Monat's losses. Okay. I mean, that's a pretty sick deal if you ask me. Luis and Ray inducement. Wait, did I just read that? Yeah, I did. On August 26, 2014, Ray Urdaneta sent McMillan the offer letter, which we read. That's Exhibit A. It promised McMillan a base salary, a discretionary annual bonus. That was the thing that's like an extra 50% of his base salary, which is wild. 3% profit sharing while serving as president. 3% profit sharing post-employment for the number of years McMillan worked as the president of Monat, -1. Benefits and 20 days paid vacation annually. The offer letter envisioned Luis, Ray, and McMillan working together to maximize Monat's profits. McMillan believed that Luis and Ray would treat him as a profit-sharing owner and, as a result, overcame his initial reluctance and agreed to become the president of Monat and director of Monat starting September 8th, 2014. I mean, how can you say no to that contract? That's a good one. Okay. McMillan accepted Luis and Ray's offer and expected Luis and Ray to treat him fairly and in good faith. McMillan expected Monat to operate like an honest and legitimate domestic business. Oh, hi, Pippi. Not like a mafia family, an unprincipled syndicate. Whoa. Oh, Elaine, thank you so much for the super chat. You said, meanwhile. I don't know what meanwhile you're referring to, but you know. Thank you, I appreciate it. Okay, so mafia, okay. Interesting. Upon information and belief, Luis and Ray never intended to maximize Monat's profits. Why wouldn't they? Okay, I'm sorry. Like, that's a bit of a stretch, Stuart. It's their company. They own the company. How are they not wanting to maximize profits? Are you trying to say that, like, they were willing to, like, sabotage the performance of their own company just in order to fuck with you, Stuart? Really? Really? I mean, maybe. If Stuart's gonna really sit here and take credit for all the growth that Monat has done, I don't know, man. Seems like a stretch. No, okay. Upon information believed, he never intended to maximize Monat's profits or treat McMillan as a profit-sharing owner. Instead, they intended to deprive Monat of profits so that McMillan would rarely, if ever, participate in any profit-sharing during or after his employment with Monat. In short, Luis and Ray intended to run Monat to enrich themselves and their family only. Pippi. But how, I mean, with a contract like that, though, how, though? I don't know. And how would they be able to do that while also, like, depriving Monat of profits? That's weird. Okay. McMillan's employment with Monat. McMillan's role was to grow Monat, and that is what he did. Over approximately 9 years acting as president, McMillan built Monat into a company generating hundreds of millions of dollars in revenues, with hundreds of employees and with market partners numbering in the hundreds of thousands worldwide. In that time, Monat became one of the top 3 direct sales multi-level marketing companies in Canada. That's weird. Where's Canada? I don't know. Never heard of it. Luis and Ray, as directors of Monat, agreed to manage Monat and handle the corporate governance, finance, and administration of Monat. I'm sorry, do lawyers not proofread like, do they not have, like, word to tell them that, like, do they not have the little, are they too good for the clippy guy, the little paper clip who's like, you spelled Canada wrong? Canada. Our lawyers are just too good for that, huh, Pip? Anyway, over the years, McMillan had many disagreements with Luis and Ray. Sorry. First, McMillan did not believe that he was properly compensated. Despite Monat's revenues growing rapidly year over year, Luis and Ray withheld a bonus from McMillan all but once before 2020. Wait, so is he saying he got one bonus, but didn't get 8? So if he worked for them for 9 years, he got 8 bonus, or no, he got 1 bonus and didn't get the other 8? Is that what he's saying? Because, like, I feel like after the second time I'm not paid a bonus that I'm owed, like, I'm out. Especially if you're Stuart McMillan or someone with the connections that Stuart has. You won! Congratulations, Quinlan! Great job! Yay! Oh, Canada! Our home and native land without the D. Wait, no. We were missing an A. Okay, sorry. So was I reading that right? He only got 1 bonus? I don't know. Okay. B&R Products, who are owned and managed by Luis and Ray, changed Monat above market rates in order to shift profits from Monat to B&R Products. Oh. When McMillan attempted to obtain competitive bids for the manufacture of its beauty products to increase Monat's profits, Luis and Ray Urdaneta shut him down. The scheme enriched Luis and Ray at McMillan's expense. He received less and lower bonuses and lowered profits sharing from Monat. Okay, so in 5-year-old terms, because that's how I have to understand things, here's what I'm getting. It sounds like, because they own this product manufacturing company that was manufacturing Monat's products, and so they were what's the word? It, like, would it be embezzlement? Like, embezzling money from Monat into B&R Products so that they're like, oh no, all the profits came from this company, not from Monat, so that they wouldn't have to give money to Stuart. Is there proof of all this? Oh my god. See, I almost want it to go to trial, dude. Like, oh, you could hear the purrs. I love that. Anyway, wow, interesting. Let's keep going. In addition, Monat was less profitable because Luis and Ray contrived unnecessary and improper expenses. Monat employed Urdaneta insiders, family members, and friends to no-show, non-existent jobs, sometimes paying them under the table. Ooh. Dude, I mean, that's some shit that can really get them in trouble. Like, if this, obviously this is just a civil trial, but like if this got picked up by like, I don't know what the process would be, but if prosecutors in Florida decided to look into this and be like, oh shit, these people, these millionaires were paying their own family members under the table, that means they're not paying taxes on it. That's at the very least like tax fraud, right? Allegedly. Money laundering. Oh, yeah. So it wouldn't be embezzlement, it'd be money laundering. I guess I don't know the difference between those. So Stu is accusing them of moving money around in order to not pay him bonuses and profit sharing. That's what I'm gathering. Yeah, sounds like it. In order to keep more of the money in the family. Which, I guess I'm starting to see why he started this lawsuit off calling Monat a mafia. The mafia, like, because it's all in the family, you know. Oh god, there's cat hair everywhere. Okay. Luis and Ray maxed out Monat's credit cards on their personal luxury lifestyles, including private airplanes, expensive dinners, and luxurious travel and accommodations, including a $50,000 room service bill in Dubai. Jeez. Can you imagine? Like, how much... I'm not gonna say it. Okay. They might not have Skinamax in Dubai, so never mind. Maybe they do. I don't know. All right. Luis and Ray paid their personal and household expenses from Monat bank accounts. Whoa. Listen, like, I'm not a legal professional or anything like that, but that definitely sounds like something you can't do, right? IRS, where you at? Just fraud? Yeah. That's tax evasion and money laundering. Okay, cool. Monat paid for Urdaneta family members and friends who did not work for the company to go on company incentive trips. Wow. Monat even paid the personal credit card bills of Luis and Ray, sometimes up to $150,000 for a single month for non-business expenses. Wow. I mean, for them, $150,000 is probably pocket change, but wow. That's so much, dude. $150,000 spent in a month? How do you do that? Elaine G60, thank you for joining. Aaron's here. Oh, hey, perfect timing for me to listen while making dinner. Yay! Welcome, friend. All right. These unwarranted and improper payments and benefits provided to the Urdaneta family and friends decreased Monat's profitability, directly lowering McMillan's profit-sharing payments. It's all starting to make sense. I hope you guys are all following on this too. It's making sense. Okay. Finally, Luis and Ray severely diluted Monat's meager profits. Ooh, meager. Ooh, I like that word. Meager profits, you say, in select years, and refused to retain revenues to invest in Monat to generate reasonable profits. Tea. That's not tea, that's an energy drink. Ugh, cat hair. Blech. McMillan objected to these misdeeds as improper, unethical, and unfair. Members of the Urdaneta family, other than Luis and Ray, acted like they were owners and managers of Monat. Okay, so people who weren't Luis and Ray. Okay. Urdaneta family members other than Luis and Ray even disciplined and fired some Monat warehouse employees. What? Imagine having the audacity, like, okay, let's all just, like, have a thought experiment. What if, like, your parents and siblings all owned a business that you were not involved in? The gall on someone to be like, listen, my family owns this company, I have nothing to do with it. Walk into the warehouse and start firing people? Who does that? Dude, fucking eat the rich, man. I'm so sick of these rich people. The audacity. Okay. Urdaneta family members acted as though Monat's property was their own personal property. I'm sure they did. McMillan objected to how Luis and Ray managed and operated Monat. McMillan regularly advised Luis and Ray that they were potentially violating regulations governing beauty products and related advertisements. So, like, like how they were like, oh, it'll make your hair grow. Like, all the things that Monat distributors are always claiming Monat can do for you. Stuart would be like, hey guys, we should not be letting the representatives say this. The market partners shouldn't be saying this kind of stuff. And Luis and Ray were like, it's fine. Shut up, Stu. Stu, shut the fuck up. Like, Stuart was just like the little brother that like can never play with the big kids, you know? That's what I'm getting at. Damn. I know. The downfall of Monat is beautiful. I'm loving this, dude. Okay. Where were we? Okay, so yeah, Stuart was like, hey, you guys can't be doing that or saying that, and they said, fuck off, Stu. Separately, Luis and Ray also insisted on employing individuals who were residing in the United States illegally. McMillan objected to this practice. Well, I mean, it's wild because, like, hiring illegal immigrants is something that, like, a lot of these corporations will do to save money because you don't have to pay them as much and you can, like, pay them under the table and not give them benefits and shit. So, like, what's the point of doing that? If you're, like, well, never mind, because they were trying to maximize profits, but, like, funneling, laundering money into their other company instead of just, like, trying to save money and cut corners. Like, yeah, no. Okay, never mind, sorry. I'm just thinking out loud. In addition, Luis and Ray created a hostile work environment. Ooh, any complaints from employees or independent contractor market partners were met with skepticism, criticism, and retaliation. Gee, it's almost like we've been watching this happen for the past, like, at least 5 years. Like, we've all been just, like, watching, like, the atmosphere of Monat is skepticism and criticism and retaliation. Like, all the market partners do that. No wonder Monat is so cutthroat, because the person running Monat, or the people running Monat, were apparently making the entire work environment just hostile. I mean, that's not surprising, but, like, it's just really interesting to see it written on a fucking law document. McMillan also objected to how Monat's board of directors operated and functioned. Monat's board of directors only met 3 times. What? 3 times? While McMillan was a director of Monat. It did not hold annual meetings. That seems odd, right? That's not normal, right? Only 3 times in 9 years? Wow. Okay. It did not record meeting minutes. Oh, sorry, I skipped a part. It didn't hold annual meetings, except for a brief period of time insisted by McMillan and the chief legal officer. It didn't record meeting minutes. There was only a secretary 3 of the 9 years McMillan was a director of Monat, or Monat is what it says, but yeah, that's another spelling error, grammatical error. And McMillan was not even permitted voting rights. What? He's the president of the company, and they're not going to let him vote on anything in the board of directors? Like, what? Poor Stuart. I would feel bad for him. Except I super don't. I just don't. Okay, and, McMillan was not even permitted... Oh, okay, that's what I just read. Because Luis and Ray made up 2/3 of the Monat board of directors, they did whatever they wanted without consulting McMillan. This resulted in Luis and Ray enriching themselves at Monat's expense, making Monat less profitable. As a result, McMillan's profit sharing was diminished. Okay. Meanwhile, while Luis and Ray were treating Monat like a mafia family behind the scenes, McMillan was developing relationships with Monat's independent contractors, market partners, and employees. McMillan ran Monat's motivational conferences and incentive trips to better the company. And, I mean, I'll give it to him. I could not fucking stand Stuart McMillan. He's like a bumbling idiot, you know? He's like one of those people that, like, every time I watched him, every time I looked at him, whatever he was doing at any given moment, it was just cringe. But people loved him. They did. They all loved him over at Monat. And he was also on the yearly they would do like a Monat ministry call. I have a video about that. where I recorded one and went over it. Definitely go watch it. It's interesting because Stuart is in there. He like leads a sermon whenever they would do like in-person Monat events and what the fuck are they called? Conventions and stuff. God, words. He would do like a Sunday mass. Like he would run it and stuff like that. So, and this is really interesting because this is one of the things that Angela Sumner said when she left, like, oh, I just feel like it wasn't about God anymore. And it's like, well, that makes sense if Stuart left and he's the one who was like arranging all of these godly Zoom calls and Sunday morning masses at convention and stuff, like, and suddenly he's gone. Like, of course those things aren't gonna stick around because Stuart was the one doing them. So it kind of makes sense. But anyway, McMillan being the face of Monat, he was the face of Monat. The face of Monat, however, threatened Luis and Ray and eventually resulted in tension between them. Like, they didn't like that Stuart was well liked. Some backward shit. All right. Demand for McMillan to accept a non-compete and non-solicit. Fearing that Monat's employees and Monat's thousands of independent contractor market partners were more loyal to McMillan than they were to them, Luis and Ray threatened to terminate McMillan if he did not agree to sign a non-complete and non-solicit with Monat. Wishing to maintain what he had built at Monat, McMillan signed the profit-sharing agreement on October 1st, 2019. Oh, okay, so that makes sense. We were looking at it before and it said between the years of 2014 and 2019 there was growth in the company. So they had him after 5 years sign the NDA because they're like, people like you too much, Stuart. All right. He did so because Luis and Ray promised that Monat was going to invest in corporate governance and legal compliance after McMillan executed the profit-sharing agreement. Like, yeah, Stuart, I know you've been telling us that we can't say this and we can't do that, and we're not allowed to make this health claim and that health claim. Listen, if you sign this, I promise we'll start complying with things. Like, you guys run the company, not Stuart. He was just someone you hired. Like, fucking what? Sorry, I really, oh my god. Is there a way? I need to make sure that, like, because I feel like I'm gonna need to go back and read my live chat, but the past few ones my live chat hasn't been posting. Hold on a second. I'm gonna make sure I can turn that back on or see if that's something I can do, because I'm gonna have to go back and read what you guys are all saying. Oh yeah, it says live chat replays on, so okay. All right, just making sure, because I don't want to miss anything that you guys are saying, because you guys are all smarter than me. Okay, all right, pursuant to the profit-sharing agreement, among other things, McMillan and Monat agreed as follows. As additional and deferred compensation after McMillan's employment with Monat terminated, Monat would pay McMillan 3% of Monat's profits or a certain minimum floor payment annually if Monat is not profitable in any given year, for a time period equal to the number of years that McMillan worked for Monat minus 1 year. The minimum annual floor payment to be made if Monat was not profitable in a given year was to be $800,000 or $1 million if Monat met or exceeded $35 million in profits in any calendar year. The maximum ceiling payment Monat would pay McMillan in any given year after his employment was set at $2 million. During his employment with Monat and during an undefined payment period, McMillan would not compete against Monat. See section 7B. Oh, I think this is still quoting that document, I guess. During his employment with Monat and during an undefined payment period, McMillan would not solicit Monat's employees or independent contractors to terminate their business relationship with Monat. I know this is all basic here. This is stuff we see. I mean, this kind of stuff is in like the like market partner agreements and stuff like that. But anyway, during his employment with Monat and during an undefined payment period, excuse me, McMillan would not solicit Monat's wouldn't solicit the customers to terminate their contractual or advantageous business relationship with Monat. McMillan had the right to audit Monat's books and records for any given year upon official notice and requests. So, like, I mean, unless they were hiding shit there too, to where Stuart couldn't see it. It's like, it sounds like he was contractually obligated or allowed to have access to Monat's records if he wanted them. So, like, wouldn't he be able to prove that they were laundering money and stuff? Unless, I don't know, I guess money laundering doesn't really work that way, huh? I don't know. I've never done it. If any court or competent jurisdiction shall at any time determine that any part of this agreement is illegal, void as against public policy, or otherwise unenforceable, the relevant part will automatically be amended to the extent necessary to make it sufficiently narrow in scope, time, and geographic area to be legally enforceable. Hey, Monat, sounds like you're not getting out of this one. Payment pyramid? Is that what I said? Oh my god. Okay, the pandemic boom and bust. Ooh, this is gonna be good. Okay, listen. Because if you didn't know, if you're new to this whole, like, MLM space, when the pandemic hit, Monat was one of the big ones that we really saw all over the place, but basically every MLM went ham. They had a huge spike in growth, and that was because so many people during the pandemic had lost their jobs, needed extra income, whether they had pay cuts or just lost their work entirely. So MLMs kind of became people's last hope, really. So yeah, and Monat was definitely one of the companies that I want to say benefited, that's the word I'm looking for. They benefited from the pandemic a lot. However, during that time, like, we all saw this happening, and this, like, the whole anti-MLM video production on YouTube was still kind of in its infancy in 2020. I guess, kind of. It's definitely grown a lot since then, I guess is what I mean to say. But even then, like, we were all just kind of, like, watching it happen and being like, yeah, man, there's a lot of people joining MLMs right now. But I even specifically remember saying back then, I'm like, give it a year. Like, there's going to be mass exodus from the industry. Give it a year. And sure enough, it fucking happened. And we're living in the aftermath of it right now. And that's why it's so gratifying to, like, to see MLMs crashing in the way it is right now. Because it's like, 4 years ago, me and everyone else that was involved in this movement, we were all sitting here like, this won't last. Yeah, you guys are growing now. Like, oh, we had like 800% profit this year. Wow, we're amazing. It's like, okay. So we'll see how you're doing next year. And sure enough, here we are. It's just, it makes me feel justified. Anyway, let's read this. The pandemic boom and bust. Immediately after signing the profit-sharing agreement, Monat had its best year ever in 2020. Shocking! With revenues exceeding $800 million and profits exceeding $35 million. Because Monat's profits exceeded $35 million in 2020, which is a calendar year, McMillan's minimum annual floor payment after his employment with Monat increased from $800,000 to $1 million annually under the profit-sharing agreement. In 2020 and 2021, as in the past, Luis and Ray drained nearly all profits of Monat and left Monat with minimal retained earnings. Wow. $800 million in 1 year, and they're like, there's no money, Stuart, sorry. We had our best year ever, sorry. We don't have it anymore, sorry. Like, jeez. Alright. Where was I? They appropriated approximately $100 million since Monat's inception. That's so much money, what the fuck? So when the economy took a downturn in 2022, Monat suffered significant losses. Well, it wasn't really the economy. People were just, they were in your MLMs for over a year and a half. 2020 is a calendar year, thanks. Yeah, no, in 2022, people had already had enough time to be in MLMs and been like, this was sold to me as, like, some work from home opportunity. I lost my job. I was under the expectation that I was going to see all these profits and I was going to make all this money working from home and being my own boss. And it's 2022 and I haven't made a penny. So I'm leaving. Yep. That's pretty much the timeline. Monat suffered significant losses. Monat and the entire industry. But anyway, Luis and Ray insisted on increasing revenues at any expense, including cutting commissions to Monat's independent contractor market partners and delaying payments to suppliers. As a result, morale at Monat plummeted. So Luis and Ray allegedly were like, we need to make more money, and we're gonna cut commission. We're gonna take money from our market partners so that us rich assholes who are over here money laundering $100 million in less than 10 years, we need more. We need more money. So the people who are making us that money, we're gonna no more commissions for them. And what I was reading is that, like, when they had the flash sales and stuff, like the percent, I don't remember how it was. Something like, okay, so let's say a shampoo costs $40, but there was a flash sale to get it $10 off, so it was $30. Like, the commission that the rep who sold that discounted shampoo was they weren't getting commissions for the full price of the product. They were getting whatever it was discounted, which sucks. PetSmart used to do that to us too. Like, if someone, oh my gosh, I don't even remember what it was. But I do remember, like, there were services that, like, I would hate seeing them show up on my schedule because I'm like, I'm going to get paid, like, $15 to do this. Like, this sucks. So I hate it when companies do this. I guess it's normal. It just doesn't feel ethical. But anyway, yeah, so they're just like, we need the rich to get richer, and we need to take more money from our sales force, who 99% of them aren't making money either. Anyway, disagreeing with Luis and Ray regarding business strategy and business ethics, McMillan resigned as the president of Monat on July 31st, 2023. McMillan retired. He did not start working for another company and did not start a company himself. Yeah, he's an older dude too, I think. I don't know. I mean, even if he wasn't an older dude, like, I think he's made enough money in his lifetime to be totally fine. He's fine. He doesn't need this profit sharing shit. Yeah, he's owed it, apparently, but it's like, come on. You ran a Ponzi scheme and you were making millions of dollars a year probably doing this shit with money. Or at least he was supposed to. I guess that's the point of this lawsuit, huh? Okay, to avoid any disruption in Monat's business operations and its employee and independent contractor market partners relationships, McMillan remained on the Monat board of directors. Despite his objections, McMillan never spoke poorly of defendants. Ray became the CEO of Monat, and McMillan wanted Ray and the company to succeed. Okay, so he was still cheering him on from the sidelines. McMillan remained in contact with many of his former colleagues at Monat, who naturally had become friends over the years. McMillan attended religious study with some of these individuals and golfed with others. He attended social events with some. McMillan was not, however, competing with Monat or soliciting people to join him in a new venture or terminate their relationships with Monat. In September 2023, Ray approached McMillan with a request to amend the profit-sharing agreement. Now, was this a request or was this some demand? Like, there's no way Ray just, like, walked up to Stuart and was like, hey, remember that contract we signed 10 years ago? Let's just call it, let's just call it done, huh? And Stuart's like, you're supposed to be paying me $1 million a year for the next 8 years, so that's gonna be a hard no, sir. Okay. Where were we? Okay. While McMillan was still a director of Monat, Ray accused McMillan of undermining his leadership by remaining in contact with people affiliated with Monat. Fucking controlling. Ray offered to pay McMillan on a faster timeline if McMillan agreed to a minimum floor payment of $800,000, and B, not to host any events, charitable or otherwise, in which Monat employees or independent contractor market partners would be in attendance. The proposal appears in a September 18th, 2023 letter from Ray attached as Exhibit C. Okay, let's scroll and find Exhibit C. Okay, Exhibit C. Here we go. September 18th, 2023. Dear Stuart, thank you for your patience as we work to come to a mutual agreement regarding the advancing of your profit sharing for the first year of the tail period, 2023. as provided for in sections 1 and 2 of the amended and restated profit sharing, confidentiality, non-compete, non-poach, and business opportunity agreement entered into between you and Monat on October 1st, 2019, referred to in this letter as the agreement. We have put together an addendum. That's such a silly word. Oh, Tao, the dumpster fire artist, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Put together an addendum to the agreement, which proposes the following payments for the 2023 profit sharing payment during year 1 of the tail period. A payment of $32,000 per month beginning in September 2023 and ending in March 2024. The total of those payments will be $224,000. Each monthly payment from September 2023 through March 2024 will be made on or before the last day of each month. The remaining portion of the prorated balance is $109,333 and will be paid per the agreement by March 31st, 2024. Any profit sharing made after March 31st, 2024 during the tail period will be in accordance with the terms and conditions of the agreement. The tail period will be for a period of 8 years, beginning September 2023 and ending in September 2031. The floor payment will be based on $800,000. Authorization will be required for any events, charitable or otherwise, hosted or supported by you that will include attendance by current Monat employees or current market partners. Wait, okay. Authorization will be required for any event. Okay. So that doesn't mean that he can't host that stuff. He just has to have it authorized. It just seems like such a random thing to put in this contract. All other terms and conditions of the agreement will remain in effect. Like, all of this is just like, all right, so here's the deal. Here's where we're going to pay you. Here's when we're going to pay you. Here's this. Oh, and also, no hosting events that, like, people we know are going to be at. You can't do that. Also, by the way, I was told today that Tony Van Schoik, that purple-haired lady, I think she was, like, the first market partner or something like that. Don't quote me on this, but I heard that she left. And I think it's because of something like this. Like, they told her that she's not allowed to hang out with Stuart, I guess. Or vice versa. Stuart's not allowed to hang out with her because she was a Monat market partner. So that must be... Oh, there's so much tea there. Has Tony posted about it? Oh my god, wait, hold on. Wait, has she blocked me? I don't know. Tony Van... How the fuck do you spell her name? I don't know. I don't know how to spell her name. Doesn't matter. I'll look into it later. You will need to sign the amended and restated profit sharing, confidentiality, non-compete, non-poach, and bonus opportunity agreement addendum agreeing to these changes. I continue to be grateful for all your contributions to Monat, and I'm available for any questions you may have. Sincerely, Ray Urdaneta. Alright. McMillan rejected the offer to amend the profit sharing agreement. Okay. So everything we just read, Stuart's like, no. Okay? Oh my god, I'm so uncomfortable. Ugh. All right. In December 2023, while still a director for Monat, McMillan hosted a Zoom holiday toast with some of his friends on Zoom? Hold on. Don't tell me they're about to be like, we're not going to pay you now because you had a Zoom call with your friends. Okay, behavior control, bite model. Including his daughter, who was a So because Stuart's daughter worked for Monat, Stuart's own daughter, Ray and Luis were like, you can't hang out with her. She's ours. She works for us. You can't. She's not an exception to the rule, Stuart. You can't hang out with your daughter for the next 8 years. If you want $800,000 a year from us, you can't do that. Wow. A light and cheerful discussion ensued. The group did not discuss business. However, when Luis and Ray learned that McMillan hosted a Zoom holiday toast with some existing and former employees and independent contractor market partners, they terminated McMillan's daughter as an employee of Monat and threatened not to pay McMillan the money he was owed. It's her dad. The fuck? This is some Scientology shit. Like, they literally made Stuart McMillan a a suppressive person, an SP. That's what they call it in Scientology. If you're labeled as a suppressive person, any involvement that you as a Scientology member have with that person, like, that can turn you into a suppressive person. That is exactly what the fuck is going on here. It is also like fair gaming, which is also a Scientology thing. They're just like, Stuart McMillan is a enemy of the organization, so we're going to take any means necessary to harass him, including firing his daughter. Oh my god. Call your dad, you're in a cult. Exactly, dude, what the fuck? This is crazy. Okay. On January 16, 2024, McMillan resigned from Monat's board of directors and demanded full compliance with the profit-sharing agreement. His January 16, 2024 resignation letter is attached hereto as Exhibit D. Okay. Exhibit D's nuts. Is this it? There's no, like, cover letter for Exhibit D. Or is this... Oh, we didn't even finish reading Exhibit C. Okay. Let's finish reading this. Okay. Addendum to the amended and restated profit-sharing, confidentiality, non-compete, non-poach, and bonus opportunity agreement. The addendum only amends sections 1 and 2, blah, blah, blah. We can't read that. That profit-sharing agreement originally was not shared in this lawsuit for confidentiality reasons. So, as specifically provided herein as to profit sharing for 2023, sections 1 and 2 of the agreement shall apply to all profit sharing payments made for any other years after 2023. For year one of the tail period 2023, there is a prorated amount of profit sharing due to Mr. McMillan as his tenure with the company ended on July 31st, 2023. The company has agreed to Mr. McMillan's request to advance his profit sharing for year one 2023 for the tail period. The parties mutually agree as follows. And again, I'm pretty sure this is what they said that he didn't agree to. Payment of $32,000 per month beginning in September 2023 and ending in March 2024. We did already pretty much read this. Yeah, because that's basically all that we were reading up here. It's just the same thing. You can't have any events, blah, blah, blah. All right, anyway, Exhibit D. This appears to be from Stuart McMillan. So this is a letter that Stuart McMillan's lawyers wrote to Ray. Okay, greetings! Holland & Knight LLP has the honor of being legal counsel to Mr. Stuart A. McMillan. As of this date, Mr. McMillan hereby resigns as a director for Monat Global Corp. Please confirm in writing immediately that Monat accepts Mr. McMillan's resignation from Monat's board of directors and as an officer or director of any of Monat's subsidiaries. Mr. McMillan resigns for the following 3 reasons. Ooh! I'm ready. First, Mr. McMillan does not agree with the current management of Monat and has not agreed with the management or the strategic direction of Monat since Mr. Luis Urdaneta became directly involved in the day-to-day operations of Monat. Among other things, Mr. McMillan does not agree with the lack of reinvestment of Monat's significant profits in recent years back into the company and does not agree with the delta between Monat's public rhetoric such as that Monat will be $1 billion in the next 5 years and that 2024 will be Monat's best year ever. Girl, I could have told you. Actually, we have all been telling you that that's not going to happen. 2024 is probably going to be Monat's worst year on record. just a guess, if I had to guess. While enrollment of customers and market partners is dwindling as a result of the general malaise? Is that how you say that word? Of Monat's field organization. I mean, literally, oh my god, this document is so beautiful because it's like proving that everything the market partners say is just bullshit. I mean, we all knew it was, but here they're just like, enrollment of customers and market partners is dwindling. Yeah, we knew that, but y'all just kept fucking denying it. All right. In addition, without going into detail here, Mr. McMillan disagrees with the actions of Monat. What? Go into detail, Stuart. Come on, Stuart. The actions of Monat that have led to litigation and suspected investigations into Monat by the Florida Attorney General. Oh, okay. So that is referring to, when did this happen? Was it 2020? Florida State Attorney General basically said that Monat's not allowed to... they weren't allowed to say that it was their return policy or refund policy was like 100% guaranteed, because like you still had to pay to ship stuff back. There was also like a list of terms they weren't allowed to use. I don't remember what they were, but it was basically like health claims, saying that man, I don't remember what any of it was, but yeah, it was pretty intense. Like, you're not allowed to use these terms when describing what your product is made to do and stuff like that. Yeah, Florida State Attorney General took that very seriously and really hit Monat with it. Stuart's all like, hey guys, I don't agree that you just let this shit go unregulated for so long, and now Florida State Attorney General is on our ass. Like, yeah, Quinlan, you are behind. Anyway, yeah, so investigations by the Attorney General, the FTC, the FDA, and the USCIS. What is USCIS? I don't know. But it sounds important. Second, despite being a director of Monat, because Mr. Luis Urdaneta and Mr. Rainer Urdaneta vote and act in lockstep, Mr. McMillan has no management authority whatsoever. This is most readily apparent in the fact that Mr. Luis and Mr. Ray have not even allowed there to be an official meeting of the Monat Board of Directors in well over 2 years. Well, it was because of the pandemic, Stuart. Duh. It just, like, wasn't safe. Even though we didn't require vaccinations for any of our conventions during the pandemic. But, you know, it just wasn't safe, Stuart. All right. Mr. McMillan is not consulted or included in major decisions. Mr. McMillan is also not kept abreast. What? Of what is happening at Monat. That's a silly word. Furthermore, and most egregious, that's the word, Mr. McMillan's inquiries into the business operations of Monat are met with hostility and skepticism. Not only is this highly unprofessional, but the actions of Mr. Luis and Mr. Ray have created a situation in which Mr. McMillan cannot fulfill his duties as a director of Monat. In summary, Mr. McMillan resigns in part because he does not agree with the management of Monat and is powerless to change it. Third, out of an abundance of caution, as a result of the unlikely scenario that Mr. McMillan becomes adverse to Monat because Monat breaches the amended and restated profit-sharing, confidentiality, non-compete, non-poach, and a business opportunity agreement affected October 1st, 2019, the agreement, Mr. McMillan resigns. Mr. McMillan is proud of his work for Monat. Monat's success and growth under Mr. McMillan's leadership prior to Mr. Luis becoming involved in the day-to-day operations of Monat was remarkable. The success is self-apparent and evidenced by the numerous videos, communications, and social media posts from Mr. Rainer Urdaneta and others regarding Mr. McMillan. Mr. McMillan wishes Monat well. Mr. McMillan hopes that the best for Monat's employees and its officers and directors. I need to, hold on. Please hold. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm just, sitting in a really awkward spot because I'm, I could have just adjusted my camera a long time ago. Okay. Regarding the agreement, full compliance by Monat is expected. Any Monat breach will not be tolerated. I have reviewed the agreement closely, and because Mr. McMillan's voluntary and mutual separation from service occurred on July 31st, 2023, tail period payments to Mr. McMillan shall start soon and shall last for 8 years as a result of Mr. McMillan's number of years spent working for Monat, approximately 9 years. Mr. McMillan is owed as additional and deferred compensation for the 8 years making up the tail period, 3% of the profits of Monat as defined in Section 1 of the agreement, or at a minimum, $1 million per year. Mr. McMillan recognizes that Monat shall not owe him more than $2 million for any year during the tail period. Even if Monat does not have any profits in a given year, the tail period payments to Mr. McMillan will still be owed to him pursuant to Section 2B, blah, blah, blah. What is all this here? What are these little amendments? I'm aware that in the second half of 2023, there were negotiations related to amending the agreement However, because the agreement was never amended in compliance with Section 1F, oh my god, this writing is very small. The agreement remains unchanged and unaltered as of this date. The tail period floor rose to $1 million annually, up from $800,000 annually, because Monat's profits exceeded $35 million in the year of 2020, obviously a calendar year as referenced in Section 2. I'm glad we have 2 instances now, making sure that we know that 2020 was, in fact, a calendar year. Okay. Particularly the notwithstanding anything to the contrary in this agreement portion of Section 2B, Mr. McMillan expects his first tail period payment in March 2024. Mr. McMillan further needs information regarding Monat's profits in 2023 so he can determine whether he is owed the $1 million floor tail period payment or more. Please respond stating what Monat's profits were in 2023 and provide me with supporting documentation. Well, if they're money laundering, you're not going to get that. Mr. McMillan should not have to trigger Section 3 of the agreement to get this information. As you are aware, every Florida contract contains an inherent clause of good faith and fair dealing. This issue certainly falls within that inherent clause in the agreement. Mr. McMillan will trigger Section 3 of the agreement immediately, however, if Monat denies that Monat had over $35 million in profits in 2020. Please confirm that Monat admits that it had $35 million or more in profits in 2020. If it does not, Mr. McMillan, pursuant to Section 3 of the agreement, demands the financial and accounting information necessary for an immediate audit of Monat's 2020 profits. Whoa. Hopefully this is unnecessary. Please let me know in writing. Mr. McMillan has at all times remained in compliance with the agreement. Mr. McMillan is not in breach of the agreement now and has no intention of breaching the agreement. However, to put Monat on notice now, pursuant to Section 7B of the agreement, the non-competition agreement in the agreement terminates if Monat does not pay Mr. McMillan in strict compliance with the agreement restricted period as defined in the agreement. Oh my god, this is mind-numbing. Means the employment period, which is defined in okay. Oh my god, I cannot read this fucking sentence. To me, Mr. McMillan's employment period plus as long as Monat pays Mr. McMillan in compliance with the agreement. Upon Monat's failure to pay Mr. McMillan in compliance with the agreement, if ever, the restricted period shall automatically terminate. Mr. McMillan's non-competition obligations will cease at that time. Finally, if Monat would like to negotiate a new post-employment agreement with Mr. McMillan, replacing the agreement, Mr. McMillan is willing to accept a lump sum payment of a mutually agreed upon amount within 90 days in exchange for lowering the overall amount of money Monat owes to Mr. McMillan, plus a new non-compete, non-solicit, and robust non-disclosure agreement. Please let me know if Monat would like to enter into such negotiations. So that's interesting. Because, like, I guess I was just thinking this whole time, this lawsuit, like, that's what he was basically going for. Like, we know they're going to settle outside of court. This will never make it to trial, dude. But, it looks like he already tried to get them to agree to that, and clearly they're not. So I guess that's why the lawsuit's here. Interesting. If Monat does not accept the above offer regarding a new written agreement between Monat and Mr. McMillan, please provide the information requested herein at your earliest possible convenience. If Monat intends on breaching the agreement, you are hereby put on notice that Monat must immediately send me a copy of any insurance policy Monat has that may cover Mr. McMillan's claims against Monat, and Monat must initiate a litigation hold regarding any documents and communications, including text messages that may relate to Mr. McMillan's claims against Monat. Please conduct yourself accordingly. I look forward to Monat's substantive response. Sincerely yours. Sincerely yours. That sounds nice. From Stuart McMillan's lawyer. Okay, let's get back to the complaint here. Was that No, that was Exhibit E, right? No, that was Exhibit D. Okay. On January 18th, 2024, Monat accepted the resignation, stated that it owed McMillan only $800,000 per year because the year 2020 did not count as a year. I mean, listen, I think all of us would like to say that the year 2020 never happened. That didn't happen. 2020 wasn't a year. I don't think you can just do that. Guys. Anyway, didn't count as a year, and accused... What does that mean? It doesn't... 2020 doesn't count. What? There has to be something I'm not understanding here, dude. The fuck? And accused McMillan of breaching the profit-sharing agreement. Monat's January 18th, 2024 response letter is attached as Exhibit E. Alright, let's scroll back down, go find it, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, we just read that. Let me get a sippy here. Isn't that what, Graveyard Girl used to say? She'd be like, sippy. Anyway. Response to, okay. Cat hair. Dear Mr. Lisco, which is, Stuart McMillan's lawyer, I guess. We represent Monat Global. Your letter to Rainer Urdaneta, the Chief Executive Officer of Monat, dated January 16th, 2024, has been forwarded to us. Please direct any future correspondence to us. On behalf of Monat, Mr. McMillan's resignation from Monat's boards of directors is accepted. is accepted. Effective January 16th, 2024. Monat is in full compliance with the amended and restated profit sharing, confidentiality, non-compete, non-poach, and bonus opportunity agreement effective as of October 1st, 2019. Your statement that the tail period floor rose to $1 million annually, up from $800,000 annually because Monat's profits exceeded $35 million in the year of 2020 is incorrect. Section 2B of the profit sharing agreement clearly states that the floor and ceiling only apply to the tail period. Oh. I don't know. We can't read that agreement. It wasn't submitted to the public. It's only being submitted when it's being served to Monat. So I guess we can't read that. But, okay, Section 2B provides in part, in the event that the profits of the company meet or... Okay, hold on. In the event that the profits of the company meet or exceed $35 million in any that says any calendar year, then the floor during the remainder, emphasis added, of the tail period shall increase to $1 million. It sounds like that just wasn't, like, specified. Like, that's a very, non-specific, sentence. Because it doesn't... During the remainder of the tail period. Okay, I don't know. It's hard to say. It sounds like they're, like, arguing, conjecture. Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Okay. Monat's profits in calendar year... Wait! Monat's profits in calendar year 2020 are irrelevant. I guess, yeah, you would say that about any year, I guess, if you're money laundering. Like, profits are irrelevant. You don't have to know how much we made. Okay. Also, your statement that the tail period is 8 years is inaccurate. The tail period is clearly defined as the number of years and months Mr. McMillan was employed with Monat, less 1 year. McMillan was employed for less than 9 years. There is no provision for rounding up. All right, so 7 years. Come on, chill out. As you're aware, any payment to Mr. McMillan under the profit-sharing agreement would be due March 31st, 2024, until conclusion of the audit of the 2023 calendar year. Any information regarding Monat's profits would not be relevant or definitive. You should be aware that your client is not in compliance with the profit-sharing agreement. Your client has violated, among other provisions, both the confidentiality provisions of Section 7A and the non-disparagement provisions in Section 7B of the profit-sharing agreement. Among other matters, this is evident from the defamatory and disparaging comments from Mr. McMillan, which you outlined in the second paragraph of your letter. These are two lawyers writing back and forth to each other. They're like, you're defaming me. Like, this is a legal resignation letter. Like, it's not like, this wasn't a public letter where he's trying to, like, defame you and destroy their reputation. He's just like, here's my reasons for wanting to leave. And they're like, that's defamation. The fuck? Dude. Anyway, we understand Mr. McMillan has shared these opinions with persons outside of Monat, including former employees. Monat has advised us that they are not interested in negotiating a new post-employment agreement, and they intend to fully enforce the terms of the existing profit-sharing agreement. Sincerely, Daughter. That's what it looks like. Okay, so that was the last exhibit. So we have to go back up. Wow. So they literally were like, yeah, we're just not going to pay you. Wow. I mean, I'm sorry, like, not to defend Stuart, but I mean, and obviously this is without seeing that full agreement since it wasn't published here. But, I mean, it sounds to me like Stuart is entitled to that money, and y'all are trying to, like, jump through some loopholes and shit to avoid paying him. I mean, listen, I don't think Monat's going to be around for another 7 to 8 years to have any profits at all. But even then, wouldn't they still have to give Stuart $1 million even if Monat was dissolved or like went bankrupt or something? I don't know. Well, it either says it or it doesn't. Or it either says it or it doesn't. Wait, I forgot what I was saying. COVID, are they trying not to include it because of lockdown? No, they're just so that statement in Stuart's resignation letter. Oh wait, no, that was in the lawsuit where he was saying that they said that 2020 wasn't a year. That's not what they said. He put that in this fucking complaint, but that's not what the letter said. The letter said that it was irrelevant because they're claiming that the money that they owe Stuart, that floor only applies after he leaves, like in the tail end of the agreement, after he's not an employee for Monat anymore. So that was just like Stuart embellishing shit to sound more ridiculous than it really is. So I guess this whole lawsuit, like, take it with a grain of salt, dude, because if Stuart embellished that one statement like that, he's probably embellishing other things here too. So just consider that. All right. January 22nd, 2024, McMillan, through counsel, requested, among other things, a copy of Monat's books and records for the year 2020 to conduct an audit regarding Monat's profits in 2020. McMillan is entitled to this information under the profit-sharing agreement. Defendants never provided McMillan with the requested books and records for the year 2020. Yeah, because they're trying to be like, nope, you broke our rules. You had your daughter on a Zoom call with you? Can't do it. Can't do it, Stuart. You're fired. I mean, not fired. your agreement is terminated because you talked to your daughter. Insane. Okay. Thereafter, defendants claimed that Monat would pay McMillan only his compensation under the profit-sharing agreement if he agreed not to have any contact whatsoever with approximately 3,000 people affiliated with Monat, agreed to block numerous... Block? They're like, Stuart, you have to go block people. Literally telling him, like, you are not allowed to even have these people on your social media. They cannot even... We don't want them even being able to look at your social media accounts. That's fucking wild. Okay. Blocked numerous people associated with Monat on social media and agreed not to host or speak at any events or conferences of any nature, including religious events, if any Monat associated person would participate or be in attendance. What if he didn't know? Like, what if he's, like, giving a sermon at a church or something, and one person in the congregation is like, oh, I know that guy, he used to be my president, yay, I love Jesus and Stuart, and then they find out about it. Like, Stuart didn't know that person was in the audience, you know? Anyway, this outrageous and impractical demand, I agree, that whole thing, because his daughter was involved with Monat, they included her, and they're using that as a reason not to pay Stuart McMillan. That's how I'm understanding it here, and yeah, I agree, that is outrageous and impractical. Dude. It has nothing to do with Monat's products and everything to do with McMillan's effective leadership and existing relationships with individuals in the industry. According to Ray, Monat's products are irrelevant. Dude, this is exactly what I was saying yesterday in the live stream. How, like, the products really don't matter in MLMs. Their only existence is to provide a loophole to run a legal pyramid scheme. The products don't actually matter. They're only there for legal reasons. And they're just, Ray's just out here saying it. Anyway, and for Monat to succeed, okay. Monat's products are irrelevant, and for Monat to succeed, Monat's employees and independent contractor market partners must completely forget about their previous leader, McMillan, in order to be loyal and dedicated. Oh my god, it's a fucking cult. In order to be loyal and dedicated to Monat's new leader, Ray. Ray describes Monat to be more like a cult than a bit. Yeah, that's interesting. We've been saying this for years. Without even knowing all this shit. Now that we do know all this shit, it's like, yep. It's a cult, okay? According to Ray, McMillan hosting a religious event at a church focused on faith, work-life balance, and marriage would be a threat to Monat because it may disrupt worship of Monat and its new leader. Definitely embellishment there, but I like it. I like it. Of course, such demands have no basis whatsoever in contractor law, and the demands are bizarre and highly unusual. Are they highly unusual, though? Because it sounds like these executive contracts are kind of buck wild out here. Ray pointed to a specific event hosted by McMillan on April 20th, 2024. Oh, that was only 5 days ago. What? At the Grace Family Church in Clearwater, Florida, called the Lighthouse Collective Live, the Lighthouse Collective event, as a primary reason why Monat refused to pay McMillan in compliance with the profit-sharing agreement. Oh my god, this has to be why Tony quit. I'm pretty sure. Is Tish here? Because Tish is the one who was telling me about it. Yeah, Tony Van Schoik is no longer with Monat. And I know that she was close with Stuart McMillan, because she was always the ones, like, hosting the yearly Monat prayer call or whatever that Stuart was always part of too. And my dogs. Yeah, so that must be it though, because I know Tony leaving was very recent, literally 5 days ago. Wow, because this was filed yesterday if you are joining a little bit late. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Wow. The Lighthouse Collective event was advertised as a one-day event answering the question of how religious business persons can successfully blend their faith, family responsibilities, and business to achieve fulfillment in life. The Lighthouse Collective event took place at a church. The Lighthouse Collective event was not a business event. The Lighthouse Collective event sold no products or services. It was advertised on the following website. Ooh. Can I click on this? No? Oh, shit. Well, this is really hard for you guys to see. Oh my god. What? Ah! Hang on. Shit, because I, like, fucked around with my... Well, I don't know. Okay, this isn't so bad. But there's a picture of Stuart here. Isn't that Stuart? You guys can't see it. Nope. Damn it. I did something real goofy with setting up this stream, and now it's like I'd have to go back and, like, reformat everything. Don't miss this event. Wait, John C. Maxwell. Why is that name familiar? Tony and Rachel Roth were with Stuart a couple days ago. I wonder if they'll leave. Well, Tony is the one who did leave. Tony Van Schoik left. And sounds like Rachel might also. I can't believe they actually said the C word in a legal document. Wait, what's the C word? Not the one I'm thinking of. Oh, cult? Yeah, for real. Oh my god, I want to show you guys this picture of Stuart. Hold on. I can do this. Hold on. Because he just looks magnificent. Wait, hold on. Oh, wait. If I do this? Nope. Oh. Here. There's our Stewie boy. Look at him. Look at him. He looks so happy. That is Stuart, right? It looks just like him. It has to be. Keynote speakers. Oh, here. Todd and Deb Duncan, Daryl Black, Jamie Winship. I don't know who these people are. Wait, Phil and Connie. Oh, shit. Connie's is this the same Connie? She's currently a work-from-home mom of 2 young girls. Connie is like top in Monat also. If that's the same Connie. That suit, bro. I know, it's like so blue. I don't know. Yeah, someone tell me if she's the same person, because Yeah, if she was one of the featured speakers, she was, as of like 2 days ago, what I knew of, she was still in Monat. Matt and Dara Laporta, Derek and Rachel Roth was there too. Okay, Rachel Roth was part of this. Jordan and Kristen Kemper. I mean, a lot of these names are familiar. I wonder if they're all with Monat. Panel discussion, blah 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 blah. Wow, very interesting. All right, well, let's go back here. Of course, she's got the big ass hat. She's Brittany Rose's best friend. Okay, I was just making sure that was the same Connie. Okay, anyway, wait, Connie? That's her name, right? Yep, okay. McMillan invited Ray and Luis to attend and participate in the Lighthouse Collective event. Both declined. Well, Stuart, you silly goose, you probably... Why would he do that? Because, like, he was owed money by them by the end of March, and it sounds like he maybe hasn't gotten that money. So why would he be like, hey, you people who owe me $500,000 and more for the next 7 to 8 years, hey, come to this event where there will be other Monat people speaking on stage that I signed a contract that said I'm not allowed to converse with these people. Hey, you guys should come. Like, Stuart, maybe that wasn't the best idea. Like, I get it was probably like a good faith thing, like trying to keep the spirits high between them, and, you know, but probably shouldn't have done that. Keep it on the DL, you know? Okay. Initially, Ray demanded that McMillan cancel the Lighthouse Collective event because people affiliated with Monat would attend. Ray told McMillan to lie about the reason for cancellation. McMillan, of course, refused. Whoa. He got invited to this thing. He's like, what's this about? Connie's gonna be there? Ah! You gotta cancel this, Stuart. It goes against your payment amendment or whatever agreement. Hosting the Lighthouse Collective event in no way violated the profit sharing agreement. I think Monat disagrees. Because McMillan refused to cancel the Lighthouse Collective event, Ray sabotaged it in two known ways. Of it, he would call himself a man of God, I'm sure. Anyway, yeah, let's sabotage a church event. Great, all in the name of Jesus. First, Ray told the DJ who was set to perform at the Lighthouse Collective event that he could not perform because McMillan was violating the profit sharing agreement, and that if he did, he would never perform at another Monat event ever again. As a result, the DJ canceled his performance at the Lighthouse Collective event. What? Well, okay, so Stuart, like, organized this whole thing and just, like, went and hired a bunch of people that he knew through Monat. That was probably a goofy idea, Stuart. Second, Ray told the production company assigned to the Lighthouse Collective event, Catapult Events, that it could not proceed because McMillan was violating the profit-sharing agreement, and that if it did, Monat would never work with Catapult Events in the future. As a result, Catapult Events pulled out of the Lighthouse Collective event. The Lighthouse Collective event took place on April 20th, 2024. The event had nothing to do with Monat or its businesses, except for the fact that you, like, had high-up Monat market partners in attendance there as keynotes, well, not keynote speakers, just speakers in general. But aside from that, come on, Stuart, you made some silly decisions here. All right, in clear violation of the profit-sharing agreement as of the date below, Monat failed to make its first payment to McMillan following McMillan's resignation from Monat. Luis and Ray profited tens of millions of dollars or more from McMillan's work. McMillan was left close to empty-handed regarding profit sharings while employed by Monat and post-employment, despite the clear written terms of the profit-sharing agreement and Luis and Ray's duty to maximize Monat's profits. Luis and Ray defrauded McMillan. Their plan always was to extract profits from Monat in certain years to make Monat less profitable in other years, to maximize profits at B&R Products Incorporated and B&R Products LLC at the expense of Monat's profits, and refused to make any post-employment payments to McMillan. Their plan was for McMillan never to participate in profit sharing like an owner. Monat has breached the profit sharing agreement. Okay, here's the causes of action. Count 1, breach of contract. Okay, that's a lot of these get super repetitive, so let me see here. According to the profit-sharing agreement, Monat is required to pay McMillan a share of the profits of Monat for each year that Monat is profitable during the period that the McMillan was employed by Monat, and for a set period after McMillan's employment with Monat ended. Post-employment, whether Monat is profitable or unprofitable, Monat's floor payment to McMillan each year during the set period is $1 million. And if Monat is profitable, Monat's maximum payment to McMillan each year during the set period is $2 million. Monat breached the profit-sharing agreement by failing to pay McMillan his first post-employment payment under the profit-sharing agreement. Monat further breached the profit-sharing agreement, Section 3, by refusing to provide McMillan with Monat's books and records for the year 2020. After McMillan made demand for such accounting records on January 22, 2024, pursuant to Section 3 of the profit-sharing agreement, upon request, Monat had to provide McMillan with such records. Despite an official request for such records being made, Monat refused to provide McMillan with such records. As a result of Monat's breach, McMillan has suffered damages. Wherefore, plaintiff Stuart A. McMillan respectfully requests that the court enter judgment in his favor and against Monat on count 1, awarding damages, including pre-judgment and post-judgment interest and costs, and for such other relief as the court deems just. Count 2, breach of duty of good faith and fair dealing. Like virtually all contracts, the profit-sharing agreement contains an implied covenant of good faith and fair dealing. McMillan did all of what he was required to do under the profit-sharing agreement to receive a share of the profits of Monat. Monat was required to pay McMillan a share of the profits of Monat for each year that okay, we've read this a million times. During his employment, Monat worked with Luis and Ray to unfairly enrich B&R products and intentionally make Monat less profitable in order to pay McMillan less money. Luis and Ray would not allow McMillan to get competitive bids for the manufacture and supply of Monat's beauty products. Okay, yeah, that's what he was saying. Because if he like outsourced the production of Monat's manufacturing process, then they wouldn't have anywhere to launder the money to. Look at that. Wow. Monat was required to maximize its own profits and not to maximize the profits of other companies at the expense of its own profits. Yeah, that's standard fiduciary duty. Interesting. Monat breached the covenant of good faith and fair dealing by intentionally lowering its profits in order to increase the profits of other companies and damage McMillan, and failing to pay McMillan any post-employment benefits. Monat's conduct was not consistent with the profit-sharing agreement or McMillan's expectations based on the clear terms of the profit-sharing agreement. As a result of Monat's breach, McMillan has suffered damages. Okay, and then he asked for all that shit. Okay. Specific performance, Monat. Pursuant to Section 3 of the profit-sharing agreement, McMillan has the right to audit the profits of Monat. McMillan is also entitled to information regarding Monat and its financials. McMillan has requested information about Monat's financials so that McMillan can conduct an audit of the profits of Monat in connection with the profit sharing. Monat has refused to provide McMillan with the financial information requested. McMillan is clearly entitled to the financial information. McMillan has no adequate remedy at law to obtain the financial information so that he can conduct an audit of the profits of Monat. Justice requires that Monat provide McMillan with the financial information he requested. Indeed, Monat agreed via contract that McMillan would have access to the financial information, and they're asking for damages or whatever. Oh no, he's just asking. On count 3, he just wants those papers. He wants the documents that he's been asking for, and other relief if the court thinks he deserves it. Count 4, declaratory judgment for a declaration as to whether Monat owes McMillan a share of the profits of Monat and in what amount. There exists a current dispute as the amounts owed to McMillan pursuant to the profit-sharing agreement and whether McMillan is permitted to compete against Monat. Pursuant to the profit-sharing agreement, among other things, McMillan and Monat agreed as follows. I think we read this already, so pause to read if you're needing to forget or if you have forgotten and need to be reminded. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, but we did already read all this. McMillan contends that he is owed post-employment payments from Monat for a period of time equal to the length of time he worked for Monat minus 1 year. McMillan contends that because Monat's profits exceeded $35 million in the year of 2020, and because 2020 is a year... I love this lawsuit. It's always just making sure that we all know that the year 2020 was a year. And it did happen. Despite how much so many of us want to forget about it, it did in fact happen. Thank you, Stuart McMillan and his law team, for making sure that we know that 2020 was in fact a year. Shit, where was that? Because 2020 is a year. That McMillan's floor payments from Monat post-employment are $1 million a year, not $800,000. Monat contends that because its profits have never been or exceeded $35 million since McMillan resigned, the floor payment Monat owes to McMillan post-employment is $800,000 annually. Monat argues that its profits in 2020 is irrelevant to the floor payments it owes to McMillan post-employment. McMillan further contends that because he has never breached the profit-sharing agreement and Monat has failed to pay him post-employment in breach of the profit-sharing agreement, that the undefined payment period in the profit-sharing agreement has ended, and McMillan is free to compete against Monat and solicit Monat's employees, independent contractors, and customers. That should be interesting, especially since the whole NDA thing happened recently, with the FTC saying that it's not like a thing anymore. Like, employers can't do that, I guess. I don't know what the rules are there. Monat contends that even though it has failed to pay McMillan post-employment in breach of the profit-sharing agreement, that McMillan is still bound by the non-competition and non-solicitation terms in the profit-sharing agreement. McMillan is in doubt as to his legal rights under the profit-sharing agreement specifically. This request for declaratory relief deals with a present and ascertained state of facts and involves an actual and present controversy between McMillan and Monat. The relief McMillan seeks is not merely legal advice from the court or an advisory opinion, but rather is requested to resolve a justiciable controversy that delineates the parties' rights under a binding and enforceable contractual agreement. Wherefore, plaintiff Stuart A. McMillan respectfully requests that the court enter judgment in his favor against Monat on count 4, declaring that McMillan is not in breach of the profit-sharing agreement. Monat owes McMillan 3% of his profits over a period of time equal to the time McMillan worked for Monat minus 1 year, or a minimum of $1 million annually for the period of time. That McMillan is not bound by the non-competition and non-solicitation terms in the profit-sharing agreement, and for other such relief as the court deems just. Count 5, account stated. McMillan, excuse me, and Monat entered to a profit... Okay, we know about the profit-sharing agreement. It's enforceable. It contains a binding promise by Monat to pay McMillan the specified profit amounts or a floor payment of $1 million annually. Monat has not paid McMillan the amounts owed. As a result, McMillan has suffered damages. And then he wants all that money. Count 6, constructive fraud. Ooh. Who's gonna throw up? Pippi! Can you, like, go somewhere else and puke? Oh my god. Pippi's gonna puke, y'all. In entering these agreements, McMillan relied on Ray's promises that Monat would make McMillan a 3% profit share. Oh no, it's Pop-Tart. Pop-Tart. Oh no, she gonna throw up. Hold on. Oh my god, Pop-Tart's puking. Oh god. McMillan relied on Ray's promise that Monat's profits would be maximized. A confidential or fiduciary relationship existed between McMillan and Ray as executives of Monat. McMillan accepted being underpaid throughout his near 9 years working for Monat in exchange for annual bonuses based on Monat's profits, and to share in Monat's profits during and after his employment. Ray misrepresented to McMillan that Monat's profits would be maximized and that McMillan would continue to share in profits post-employment. Ray knew at the time of his misrepresentation that Monat would intentionally minimize its profits in most years by diverting funds to Ray, B&R Products, and B&R Products LLC in order to not pay McMillan a bonus or a share of profits and maximize profits in individual years to limit McMillan's year-over-year bonuses and profit sharing. Ray knew at the time of his misrepresentation that Monat would never make any payments to McMillan post-employment. As a result, McMillan suffered damages. He wants to be awarded damages, blah, blah. Okay, fraud in the inducement. I like how they put fraud in here. What? Monat's a fraud? What? Okay. In entering the oral employment agreement with Monat and then the profit sharing agreement, McMillan relied on Ray's promises that he would get paid all this shit, blah, blah, blah. Representations were material to McMillan. McMillan accepted being underpaid throughout the 9 years. So, okay, that's repetitive. Ray misrepresented shit. He knew that he was misrepresenting shit. He was not going to make shit payments to Stewart. He knew that his representations would induce McMillan to enter into the oral employment agreement with Monat and sign the profit sharing agreement. As a result, McMillan suffered damages. Okay, constructive fraud. In entering these agreements, McMillan relied on Luis's promises. Okay, so as one of these is for Ray and one of them is for Luis. It seems like it's the same thing we just read, basically, just against Luis. Okay, fraud in the inducement against Luis. Okay. Oh, okay, so it says who it's against here. Okay, I wasn't even paying attention to that. Okay, we already read all that. Count 10, defamation. Ooh. Ray published false statements about McMillan. Specifically, Ray told... Oh, okay. This is going back to that fucking church event. Ray told DJ Rankin, who was set to perform at the Lighthouse Collective event, and the production company set to produce the Lighthouse Collective event, Catapult Events, and... that McMillan was violating a contract he has with Monat, and as a result, they should not participate in the Lighthouse Collective event. The statements were made to third parties, DJ Rankin and Catapult Events, and likely others. The statements were false. McMillan is not in violation of the profit-sharing agreement. As a result, he suffered... I mean, what damages did you really suffer on this one here, Stuart? You lost a DJ at a not-for-profit event, like... I don't... Oh no, you can never hire that specific DJ ever again. Oh no! This is so juicy. Family Mafia, woo! Hopefully I haven't been missing any super chats or anything like that. I'm sorry if I have. Usually, it's annoying because I have like a mini feed, but it doesn't always show me everything. Anywho, sorry if I've missed anything. I'm not doing it on purpose. Okay, breach of fiduciary duties. Since its founding through today, Luis and Ray have been directors of Monat. As directors, Luis and Ray owe Monat fiduciary duties. Yeah, okay. Luis and Ray, however, turned Monat's board of directors into a sham. Monat's board of directors only met 3 times while McMillan was a director of Monat. There was only a secretary 3 of the 9 years McMillan was a director for Monat, and McMillan was not even permitted voting rights because Luis and Ray made up 2/3 of the Monat board of directors. They did whatever they wanted without consulting McMillan. Wait, it was only the 3 of them? That's wild. Yeah, you didn't have a chance there, Stewie. Luis and Ray have failed to perform their duties as directors and breached their fiduciary duties to Monat. Luis and Ray caused Monat to act in violation of state or federal laws and regulations. That's true. For real. Luis and Ray insisted on Monat employing individuals who were residing in the United States illegally. McMillan objected to this practice but could not change it because he was only one of the 3 directors. Luis and Ray insisted on improperly changing the form. T alert! Luis and Ray insisted on improperly changing the formulas for Monat's beauty products in order to increase profits for B&R products. Luis and Ray ignored warnings from Monat's chief science officer concerning the changes to the formulation of Monat's beauty products. McMillan objected but could not change it because he was only one of the 3 directors. Whoa! Hey, can we get more information on that? Hey, Stuart, do you want to Do you want to drop some, like, proof of that? Because that's wild. Oh my god. So, I mean, we know that they changed formulations and stuff like that. But, like, they were clearly, they were doing it so that they could make more money and keep it from Stuart. My god. All right. Luis and Ray discriminated against Monat's employees and market partners based on their personal appearance? Whoa. McMillan objected to this practice but could not change it because he was only one of 3 directors. That hasn't been stated anywhere else in this complaint. Like, where's the exhibit for that? Like, I want to see the shit they were saying about people. Like, please. I mean, it seems irrelevant here, but, like, can you give us more? Can you give us more to go off of there? Because that's the tea we want to hear. Luis and Ray concocted an elaborate scheme for Urdanetta's insiders, family members, and friends to be paid by Monat in a manner that helped them receive money from Monat while avoiding paying personal income taxes on the money. Tax fraud! Hey! McMillan objected to this practice but could not change it, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Luis and Ray also engaged in self-dealing in order to enrich themselves directly and indirectly at the expense of Monat. Wow. Okay, B&R Products, who are owned and managed by Luis and Ray, charged Monat above market rates in order to shift profits from Monat to B&R Products. When McMillan attempted to obtain competitive bids for the manufacture and supply of its beauty products, Luis and Ray shut him down. This scheme enriched Luis and Ray by way of heightened profits for B&R Products, while making Monat less profitable and damaging McMillan through less and lower bonuses and diminished profit sharings. Wow. Because they were in manufacturing their own, like, they owned the manufacturing company also. They were able to charge whatever they wanted for the manufacturing. Wow. I mean, I wonder if that's, like, on paper, and I mean, they own the business. They're allowed to set the prices as whatever they want, right? Is there anything actually illegal about that? If they're the ones setting the manufacturing prices, did they really do anything? I mean, they did something ethically wrong, that's for sure, but, like, did they break the law by doing that? I don't know. Monat employed Urdaneta inside. Oh, wait, did I already read this? No, I didn't. Well, this was written somewhere else in the complaint before. Monat employed Urdaneta insiders, family members, and friends to no-show, non-existent jobs, paying them wages and providing them with employee benefits such as healthcare. Monat paid for Urdaneta family members and friends who did not work for the company to go on company incentive trips. The scheme enriched Luis and Ray while making Monat less profitable and damaging McMillan through less and lower bonuses and diminished profit sharings. Luis and Ray paid their personal and household expenses from Monat bank accounts. Monat even paid the personal credit card bills of Luis and Ray, sometimes up to $150,000 for a single month for non-business expenses. We have read this before. It's just restating it all. This scheme enriched them. Okay. These actions resulted in Luis and Ray receiving an improper personal benefit from Monat. Their actions were reckless, committed in bad faith, and with the malicious purpose of intentionally lowering Monat's profitability to eliminate or decrease McMillan's bonuses and eliminate or decrease his profit sharing from Monat. And then he demands a jury trial. And that's it. We did it! Hey! We made it through the whole thing! Wow! Ow! Pippi! She just tried to jump on my lap and dug her claws right into my thigh. Y'all, that was some tea. That was some tea. Oh, Melissa, that's a good point. Well, no, it was. Well, maybe it was. In regards to raising the manufacturing prices being illegal, she said, if it was to avoid paying taxes, then it obviously would be illegal. It doesn't seem like it was that. It was more so because Stuart didn't have a stake in the manufacturing company. So if they owed Stuart a 3% percentage of Monat's yearly profits, he would be able to get that. Or what am I trying to say? The percentage they would be paying him is going to be less based on what the paperwork shows that Monat's profits were. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like that, like, if anything, that's like an ethical kind of like civil matter. But yeah, I mean, it also does sound like they may have been committing tax fraud. And of course, in the state of Florida, like, hiring illegal immigrants, I don't think they're going to take lightly to that. What did she do? She jumped on me. It hurt really bad. Monat's response to this is going to be entertaining. Yeah. Oh, dude, I can't wait. I wonder if they'll probably file a countersuit. You would think, right? You don't think they're just going to, like, go into litigation or something, or whatever you call it. Just go. Is that what it is? It's called litigation? When you're, like, outside of court and, like, discussing shit. Like, they have to file a countersuit, right? You would expect that. It's also big time tax fraud. Yeah. This shit is too complicated. We need an attorney and forensic accountant on this. Yeah, it is definitely complicated. Less profits equals less taxes for Monat, but they own the manufacturing company too, so they'd have to pay, assuming that all of the money is accounted for, but it was only just laundered in the way of they just raised their manufacturing prices so that they would profit more. They would still have to pay taxes of profits from that company since they own that company too. But, you know, arbitration, mediation. Oh, okay, yeah. I'm like, litigation. It's one of those Asian words. Who knows? It's going to go to mediation first. Okay. Yeah. Mediation. Yeah. You guys are all so smart. Wow. Okay, so it took us 2 hours to read through that freaking lawsuit. I'll keep y'all updated if I hear anything. I'm going to see if I can look into the whole Tony leaving thing, because I know there's a lot there too. Resolve outside of court. Yeah, I guarantee this isn't going to go to trial. They're going to resolve something outside of court. But however, especially if Monat can't afford to pay Stuart $1 million a year for the next 8 years, which something tells me that they can't afford that. If that's the truth, then yeah, they're going to probably file a countersuit and try to get out of paying him. They're already trying to get out of paying him from the sounds of it. How many staff did they promise profit sharing to? Well, Monat had those founder shares too, if you guys remember from a few years ago. They had a founder share thing where everyone who got one of these founder shares gets a stake in the pool. They would take 1% of the profits. Oh my God, so this probably affected the paychecks that the market partners were getting too, especially the founder share people, because they would take 1% of Monat's profit every month and divvy it up to founders, people who had a founder share. I don't know how many people ended up getting that. I think there was a specific amount that, like, the maximum that they were giving out. I'm not really sure, but yeah, if they were intentionally making the profits of that Monat was making seem lower than they actually were, that probably means that the founding market partners were missing out on money too. Like, if that's all true, I mean, wouldn't that be grounds for a class action lawsuit? All the founders suing them for whatever they're actually owed? Yeah. I peeked at Connie's Insta, and it looks like she's toned down the Monat content to me. It's not completely scrubbed out, but I had to dig a little for it. She was on a live with Sarah Hill? No. Christina Parney? Oh my God, I don't remember. Whoever her bestie was. Like, she literally did a live with her just recently. But maybe they posted it on the other person's social media. I don't know. Remember that video of Stu that Mac Attack covered where Stu is in a baseball field making all sorts of bad baseball puns? What the fuck? No. That's funny. But, yeah, I mean, it sounds like in more ways than one that theft was happening Yes. Tax evasion, if not like some kind of tax fraud, sounds like it was happening. And then obviously just like refusing to pay Stuart, trying to find a loophole to not pay him, including telling him that he's not allowed to talk to his daughter because she's employed by Monat. Well, she's not anymore. They terminated her. Wow. If they left Monat, they forfeit their founder shares. Right, yeah, but while they were in Monat, before they left, if they had founder shares, if Hey, Griffey! Shh! If Monat was actively paying out founder shares, and they were making their profits seem like less than it actually was, then that would mean that they were paying the founder shares at, like, even if they left now, the people who were in it and had the founder shares and were getting paid on them were probably getting paid less than what they were owed, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm sad he didn't forget to finish his Monat road trip. Who, Stu didn't? Oh, Brittany Rose. Yeah. Thank you, Mel. Stu's cringy videos are on the net forever. Oh, yeah, they are. Yeah. Oh, was it JJ? Oh, JJ posted that thing I was thinking of. There could be a possibility of a class action if they cooked the books, they'd be fucked. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll have to find out and see what kind of discovery happens, I guess, on this case, if any. But that's what I'm thinking. Like, it sounds to me like it wasn't like under the table money laundering. I mean, maybe it was, but it sounds to me like instead of them just like writing off profits here and there, Walter White style, more so they just, since they owned the manufacturing process, they raised the prices significantly on what Monat was paying that company that they also own to manufacture the products, so that more profits would be funneled into the manufacturing company and not Monat. So like Monat would be spending more money to get products manufactured, meaning B&L or whatever the hell, the manufacturing company would be making more profits. Like that sounds like something that could be on the books. Like, they wouldn't have to hide that because I'm pretty sure they can just set the prices. They own the company. They own the manufacturing process. They're in charge of what they charge, you know? So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if they actually, like, fucked with the books and, like, fucked with documents and stuff. They might have just bumped the prices up into oblivion so that Monat wasn't profiting as much and their other company is. That Stuart was not a part of. Yeah, dude. And they were actively stopping him from reducing the costs. Yes, exactly. If you remember in what we just read, they were saying that Stuart was trying to find another manufacturer that they could pay less, and they stopped him from doing that. So what the hell did Monica say? His Star Wars video was borderline looking for a cheap corn video. Yeah, I feel like I do kind of remember that. Stuart McMillan has made some really cringe content in his time with Monat. It's bad. It's really bad. It's called Monat is in a league of their own. It was a video made for the UK because, as we know, Europe is super into baseball. That's funny, dude. Well, hey, let me see if anyone else is live streaming right now. Someone we can possibly redirect to. Let's see. Nah. No one of significance is live. Unless y'all want to watch the Young Turks. Which I probably no. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys tonight. I know I was gonna do the second half of the video we started last night. I don't know if I'll do it tomorrow. 2 days streaming in a row. Like, my throat hurts, dude. So, I don't know. I will get to it. We will watch the second half of the video. I don't think it'll be tomorrow. Especially because I know JJ has a live scheduled for tomorrow to go over that video. So, I feel like it'd be really repetitive for me to jump on and also be reacting to that video. So, Probably won't be tomorrow. Definitely, if you need your fill of that video, go watch JJ's channel, Julie Joe. Definitely do that. And then over the weekend, I know I have a few things going on, but I might be able to do a live stream over the weekend. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. Because right now, I'm like burnt out. Oh, Julie Anderson covered the baseball one. That's funny. Damn. Well, guys, listen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. I really, really appreciate sitting here with me and reading through this monstrosity. I'll see ya when I see ya. Alright? Okay, bye.